So yeah, we started playing around literally on the kitchen table using saucepans.
Get radio breakfast with Rich Smith.
We're celebrating 10 years of independent Oxford. We're having a massive takeover this week, speaking to all of the wonderful indies that are out there. And my next guest is Julie Macken from Neve's Bees. Julie, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Lovely to talk to you.
Well, I want to dive in because the most fascinating, incredible thing about this is the story that I'm going to sort of lead you into now. This was a kitchen table idea many years back that has now become a business, and I've seen and know your branding very well from living in Witney and wandering into the shop. Just tell us all about where the birth of Neve's Bees came from.
So it's a story that I've often told, but it genuinely is true. So Neve is my daughter, and at the time she was 9 years old. She's now 22, so it was quite a while ago. And we were looking at various houses to buy, and we found a house in Ensham, and Neve and her older brother were very bored. And in this house was a whole pile of honey jars, and precocious Neve goes, "Why have you got all that honey?" And the chap said, "Because I have bees." "And what do you do with it?" "I sell it." "And how much do you sell it for?" And at the time it was £5 a jar. So she literally went 5, 10, 15, 20, peacefully, beautifully, blissfully quiet for the rest of the viewing of the house. And then we got back and she literally said, "I found where we can get a beehive. I've asked Grandad Jim, he's going to buy me one for my birthday." So literally that's where it started. And for the first few years we just had the bees, and then because both Neve and I have really dry skin and eczema, and we just couldn't find any product without any chemicals in it. I'll go into a little bit into the sort of basic chemistry in a minute, because it is something that I think people find quite interesting. Yeah. So we literally were just playing around with honey and beeswax, and I enrolled in a course to find out how to do traditional herb apothecary and ointment and balm making. And we soon realized that actually this was perfect. That, the beeswax is what skincare has been made from for millennia. So yeah, we started playing around literally on the kitchen table using saucepans on the cooker. And I do remember, actually, obviously there's quite a lot of regulation and stuff you have to go through, which we did. Well, my husband helped me with that at the time. And because he runs factories, so that's kind of his thing. Right. But I do remember the first time we got to sell it was with the Oxfordshire Beekeepers Association, and there was a food fair at St Margaret's Church, the one up at the top of Witney.
Yeah, I do, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I remember we took it along, and there was a few beekeepers, and we were like, telling people how to keep bees and telling interesting things about bees, and then people were selling their honey, and I had this little basket. At the time it was just the lip balms we have, and I was like, oh my god, like, are people going to buy them? And people started buying them, and I remember at the end of the day going, oh my god, people are actually buying this stuff. So that was quite exciting, and that literally was it was probably about 10 or 11 years ago, so probably about as long as Indie Oxford has been going.
It's amazing because I love that the story started out as any parent would do, as kind of seeing your child kind of interested in something and taking an interest in something and kind of feeding that and kind of going, okay, oh, you're interested in this, okay. It reminds me of my folks with DJing as well. I took an interest in it, and my folks went, okay, right. I see that this is a passion. This is what you're keen about, and this is okay. Well, we'll feed that.
I'm a turntable.
Yeah, exactly that. It was literally exactly that. And this is exactly the same sort of thing. Did you ever envisage that it would swallow the whole family into this interest and into this thing? Because, like you speak about, when you first sold it, it was a kind of a wow moment, which
it was. There was definitely a transition. So a bit of chemistry about it is that all skincare products, so whether that's a hand cream, a body lotion, a face cream, a really expensive face cream, a night cream, a gel for your face, all of them are nowadays mainly water. And people often think that's crazy, but if you look, the first ingredient will be aqua, which is crazy because your skin is basically waterproof. So that's and anywhere from sort of 50 to 90% water, which is a little bit of a con, I think. But the problem is, I'm a chemist originally. That's how I started my career. And the problem is, when you add water to a skincare product, you, by law, have to put various processing chemicals in there, things like emulsifiers, preservatives, thickeners, stabilizers, the same kind of things you get in ultra processed food. And you don't need them if you don't put the water in. So we worked out that these chemicals, actually, some are better than others, but all creams have them in. They really weren't doing our skin any good. I say both Neve and I get really bad eczema. So we thought, hang on a minute, let's merge these two together. We'll see if we can make some products like they were always made for millennia. It's only been about the last 100 years that all these chemicals have been added. And it made our skin better. It genuinely helped. And the packaging that you need for water-free products is literally about a quarter of the packaging you need for other products. So it was quite an eye-opener to me. When I first kind of had the penny drop moment, I remember going around, the big super drugs and Boots and blah in Wintney and Oxford, and just looking at the backs of packs and just saying, hang on a minute, this is crazy. All these products are water and they're all the same. People are being sold a bit of a pup here. Now, I'm not denying that, if it's working for you, it's working for you, but there are probably other things that would work at least as well, if not better. And so we went right back to the traditional methods of making skin preparations that have been literally used for millennia. You can trace it right back to the Egyptians, how they were making skincare. Always it used to be made from beeswax or tallow, which is another way you can make it. So we worked out that we could make a whole range. So from the outset, so the thing that's kept us really going, because it's tough running a small business, is the knowledge that actually we can offer people skincare to compete with the high street stuff. Looks, feels, smells as nice as the high street stuff, but is healthier for your skin and doesn't contain all these chemicals that are being shipped around the planet. So it feels like a bit of a win-win-win, really. And I think that's what's kept us going. And it's lovely now. So Neve is 22. And obviously uses all our products, and her friends often say to her, "Oh my God, Neve, your skin looks amazing! Like, what do you use?" So that's quite a good salesman in her own right.
It's fascinating because I always get sort of bowled over by people having these ideas and people and a fantastic intro into the story of about how. You go, okay, well, we're going to keep these now. And okay, what we're going to do with it. And we're looking into this. And then actually going in and just, that feeling, like you say, of walking in, as we've all done, into your Boots and Superdrugs and places to get your various different bits and bobs for various different bits and bobs for your skin and what have you. And seeing all that feeling of going, okay, my expertise in chemistry and what have you, knowing that it's a little bit of a con, but like we say, if it works for you, having that feeling of going, I've got this thing that hasn't got any of that is doing great stuff for me and my daughter, and I've got this product. It still must be an amazing feeling, even now, walking into your Boots and your Superdrugs and what have you.
Actually, and the testimonials we get are great. So it is really nice, and I think that's what keeps us going. And there's a massive environmental benefit as well. As I say, the carbon footprint for shipping around a bulk of water, such a lot of water, and a lot of packaging that you don't need, is that literally a quarter of the packaging is. You can imagine if you could save a quarter of the shelves in Boots, like how much less we'd need to ship around the planet.
That's fascinating. And in terms of the real stars of the show here. The bees where are they? Are they with you at the house?
I don't know if you can see, and there's a window there. They're just literally
over that window. Yeah.
Just out that window. Yeah. So we have one of the one of the other things that we do as Neves Bees, because the products are basically made from flowers and plants, that's really what beeswax is made of. We've always wanted to make sure we give something back. So we give 10% of our profits back to wildlife charities, because the UK, did you know this? The UK has lost 97% of its wildflower meadows. So we give 10% of profits back to that. And one of the things that we've done is when we got this house, it came with an old field that the farmer used to use, but he didn't want it anymore. So we basically returned it. We got some green seed and worked with the Ensham Nature Recovery Network and Longmead charity down in Ensham. We got green hay from their meadow, and we've replanted. So we now have a 6-acre wildflower meadow that's just, buttercups are just starting to come out there, and then the beehives are all along the edge of the meadow, so they have a lovely time. At the moment they're all on, there's a load of cherry trees. If you take the S1 or the E1 bus through Ensham, you'll see there's a load of cherry trees, and at the moment if you walk by them and you stand underneath them, they're buzzing, and that's our bees on those at the moment.
They will eventually be the lip balms and the hand salves and everything like that. I mean, that's well, from nature into the stores. I mean, it can't get much clearer than that. Julie, it's been absolutely, honestly fascinating. There's been lots of things that I've just kind of gone, oh, no way. And I'm definitely going to be one of those people that kind of walks into the supermarket and kind of definitely looks at things a little bit differently now and changes things.
And actually that would be my 2 leaving things. Number 1, check out our website, because we've just redone it and it's fab. It's not quite
looks
finished.
Lovely.
But the other thing I would say is, so people often check the ingredients of their food, right? Nowadays you pick up a frozen meal or whatever, and people now check the ingredients. So my ask for people is, do the same next time you buy a face cream or a hand salve or a body lotion or something, and just ask yourself, do you want to be rubbing that on yourself?
Yeah. That's it's absolutely right. It's such an interesting point. It really is. Honestly, it's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you for just enlightening us and dispelling and learning all about Neves Bees. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm definitely, when I'm next in the shop, I'm passing the Neves Bees section, which I know very, very well indeed.
I'm
definitely going to be picking up a few bits and bobs for the wife. That is for sure. When we're next in there. It's been a joy and a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Julie. It's been really great.
Thanks so much then. Take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's Julie Macken there from Neves Bees. What an interesting and fascinating story. Just from going from that, going, oh, look, bees and honey and what have you, to now learning all about that. Fascinating. And look, that's why we love all of our indies. They're amazing people. They really, really are.